Ladies and gentlemen, it's a birthday today. It's a birthday and education. We're not going to play that song. We're not going to play that song. Ladies and gentlemen,
It's your birthday today.
happy birthday, Todd Perkins. Everyone, Todd Perkins, I'm going to tag him in this. Please send him a happy birthday. He's like, I don't know, I think the last I heard 75, 80 years old, whatever. He's still going strong. Happy birthday, Todd Perkins. Dedicated to you today. Education 101. We're going to talk really quick about closing costs. So I had a couple people email me this weekend and they said, I'm just not getting it. I'm not understanding how the closing costs work, so I'll make it really fast. When you sell a house, you, the seller, have your own set of closing costs. Commission, your closing fee to the title, your transfer tax, your doc stamps, your title insurance, which, real quick, when you pay an owner's title policy, yes, you, the seller, pay it for the next buyer. Remember, this has nothing to do with new construction because that's completely different. You have a set fee. Now, there is a discount when it comes to a title policy if you've owned the house within a certain amount of time. So if you owned it only for like a year or two, you'll get a discount on that owner's title policy. This is why when you sell your house, you should always get a net sheet before selling. So it shows you your commission breakdown, and you should always put the buyers so you know what I'm about to say. You have your own closing costs as a seller, and the buyers have their own closing costs as a buyer. Seller has their closing costs, buyers have theirs. Let's say the buyer's average closing cost is about 3%, right? 3%. So if you're buying a $100,000 house, let's just say it's $3,000. Might be a little bit more, but let's just say $3,000. The buyer could negotiate saying, hey, can I roll in my closing cost, which that's why whatever market is, if it's a buyer's market or a seller's market, it might be different ways to do it. They'll say, I'll give you $100,000, but I would like 3% back towards my closing costs. What they're really saying is, I'm going to offer you $97,000, right? You're selling your house, seller has their closing cost, buyer has theirs. Buyer says, would you take $97,000 for your house? Seller says, yeah, sure. Okay, I'm going to get the loan for $100,000 so I can take out $3,000 towards my closing costs. So the seller is really not paying the buyer's closing costs. The buyer's really rolling it into the loan. Now, in a really hot market, you're asking $100,000 and the seller has their closing costs. The buyer might say, I'll give you $104,000 so I can take $3,000 away, giving you $101 as a bonus. So remember, sellers, you have your closing costs, which I can give you a breakdown to almost a T with our title company, saying if you were to sell your house, this is how much you would net after this breakdown of closing costs. And then if you were to contribute money, and again, I don't want to confuse you, you're not really contributing, it's just the buyer's taking out what you would net. So remember, you're never paying the buyer's paying theirs, no matter if they pay it out of pocket or roll it into a loan, just depending how it's done. If you want more information how this works, and this is kind of confusing you, call me up. Let me sit down and show you how you have your closing costs as a seller, buyer has their closing cost, but the buyer could either pay out of pocket, which no one should do, or roll it into the loan over 30 years, which is the best way to do it. It just has to make sense to the seller, just has to make sense to the buyer, and every transaction is different. Remember, this is not new construction, that's completely different. I can go over all that with you, but it's Monday, and it's Todd's birthday. Woo! So everybody, remember, I want you to go to Todd, because I'm going to tag him in this. I was actually going to put his phone number down, and I said, God forbid he got all these phone calls, I would feel horrible. I wouldn't feel horrible, but I'd feel horrible. So happy birthday, Todd. Morning Minute, closing costs. I'll get more in depth with it one day with because I had to write happy birthday, Todd, so I could not do it on this board today. I'm all dressed up for Todd's birthday today. Maybe we'll get some ice cream and cupcakes. So happy Monday. Little education, but more importantly, Todd's birthday. Ladies and gentlemen, happy Monday.